Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. Liverpool get their title defence underway in the perfect fashion. Well, it wasn't really the perfect fashion at all, because that performance was far from a performance you think will be worthy of winning a title. Obviously, it was 4-2, but it wasn't smooth sailing at all. Drawing in the 85th minute, and Chiesa had to come and rescue us. But yeah, we'll quickly go through the game. Obviously, not all of Liverpool's signings started. Or did they? No, all of Liverpool's signings started. Kirkes, Frimpong, Ekitike and Wirtz. And from those 4 signings, I say Ekitike was the standout player. He was my man of the match. He was, for me, man of the match. Frimpong, he had a decent game. Not too great. Not bad. Just average. Wirtz, he was not good at all. Well, this is the thing, yeah. A lot of people, obviously, I've voiced my opinions on Florian Wirtz before he even signed for Liverpool. I said I didn't want him. I've voiced, and then since then, I was gassed that we signed him, obviously, because it's a big name player. You know what I mean? I'm happy that big name players are choosing Liverpool, but obviously, I've not been impressed with him in pre-season. And tonight, I think Florian Wirtz was arguably one of the worst players on that pitch. I did see Leverkusen fans say, when Wirtz is bad, he's bad. I saw a stat at half time on Twitter that he was lost possession the most times in the first half. I would assume he's lost the possession the most in the first half. And and Kirkes, I think for me the only reason why Wirtz probably wasn't the worst player was because Kirkes was on the pitch. He did not look at all like the player that played for Bournemouth last year. Like, he was just reckless. He was giving the ball away, making horrible tackles. But obviously, it is the first game. There's a couple of things. It is the first game. Not only is it the first game, it's the first game for a new group of players, and it does always take time for a new group of players to kind of react. Obviously, they're showing the full-time scenes here, and Liverpool are obviously showing their respect to Diogo Jota. Mohamed Salah is in tears. Obviously, such a sad situation, and the demonstrations that have been shown from Liverpool before the game, during the game, and after the game have been very moving. But yeah, I think for Liverpool, there's still a lot of questions to be answered. The main question I think Liverpool need to answer is defensively, how are they going to cope? Because you know what this is reminding me of? Yeah, this reminds me of 13-14. Yeah, Liverpool. We had Suarez, Sturridge, and Sterling, and we were just scoring like 3 goals every game, yeah. But we could also concede 4 goals in a game as well. And usually you can't win the league like that, in my opinion. Teams that just score loads of goals but got a horror defense, they don't win the league. A defense, this is a famous saying: attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. And the defense today was poor. The midfield didn't seem to have any cohesion. Obviously, we're missing Gravenberch, who was obviously, we all know, was a massive addition for Liverpool last year. I say addition, obviously he wasn't a new player, but he was an addition in the sense of that he was the player playing in that 6 role. But yeah, we're gonna go through some match ratings. Actually, is there any points that I want to make as well about Bournemouth? Bournemouth, I think they look very well. Obviously, I know a lot of people were very concerned about Bournemouth. They thought that Bournemouth might. I've even seen some people saying Bournemouth could go down. I think that was obviously a bit excessive, but I think Bournemouth will be just fine. Semenyo, what a player! I think obviously all the players that have left, Semenyo could argue a bit more important than all of them. His second goal, if you haven't seen it, just go look at it online. A beautiful goal. Counter attack from Bournemouth. It was like a 4v2. He had 2 people on his left, free space, and I was saying pass, but he kind of took it on, sent Konate the wrong way, sent kind of flat-footed Alisson, and just drew the ball into Alisson's bottom left corner. I think if it wasn't for Ekitike, Semenyo would be the man of the match. But yeah, what else from Bournemouth? Their left back, I forgot what his name was. It Cuffer? Or Nupper, he seemed very good. He was obviously better than Kirkes. But yeah, I think Bournemouth will be just fine. So yeah, we're going to go into some player ratings. First up, Alisson. Actually, no. Should we do the Bournemouth team first? Let's do the Bournemouth team. No, let's do Liverpool team first, actually. First up, Alisson. Alisson, the goal... Semenyo's first goal could have maybe done a little bit better. It wasn't the one we say you have to save that, but he did get a hand to it, but the hand was just a little bit weak. I'm going to go 6 out of 10. Frimpong, not a bad debut. Full debut, that is, Premier League debut. Nothing out of this world. Played 60 minutes. Yeah, I'd give him another 6 out of 10. Konate, you know, I saw Faisal tweet on Twitter that he's headed somewhere else, probably trying to say that he wants to go to Real Madrid. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I think a lot of these ratings, the ratings that were poor, is going to be a case of, you know, little bit of ring rust, you know. When I say ring rust, for you guys that are unboxing fans, you know, when you've not played for a little while, little bit of cohesion issues. But again, I say Konate 6 out of 10. Van Dijk, again, not much to say, 6 out of 10. Milos Kerkez. I don't want to be too hard, and I'm aware as Liverpool fans we shouldn't, you know, start agendas, you know, or go down too much on our own players. But you know, I can't lie. He was the worst player on that pitch. I think 3 out of 10. And I'm gonna give him Dominic Szoboszlai. Again, not good at all. Not good at all. Not as bad as Kerkez. Not as bad as another player we're gonna get onto. But I would say 4.5 out of 10. 4.5. Alexis McAllister didn't really do too much. Had a good shot that was saved. 6 out of 10. Mo Salah. To be fair, this was probably, in terms of, if we're not including the goal, it was not a good performance. But that's the thing about Mohamed Salah. Doesn't need to play well, but he's just inevitable. Captain, obviously I captained him. I think a lot of people captained him for FPL. I can't give him the same. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, yeah. Florian Wirtz. I don't want to hate on him, but I was sceptical about this move before it happened, and I've been even more sceptical. Giving the ball away constantly, just didn't really, you know, he had a couple nice passes here and there, but I said it on stream, I'm afraid that Florian Wirtz is going to become one of those players that is just a on his day type player, and they're my biggest pet peeve in football. The Pogbas, the Hazards, the Neymars, where on their day, in one game, they can be amazing. You know, 5 games across the season, 3 games across the season. But that's not the players I like. I like the players like Mohamed Salah who are consistent. Or you know what you're going to get, they're inevitable. So I'm going to give Florian Wirtz a 2 out of 10. No, 3 out of 10. 3.5 out of 10. You know, we'll be nice to him. Cody Gakpo. I think Cody Gakpo has shown that, you know, we don't need a left winger in terms of, we don't need a new first choice left winger. I think Cody Gakpo is overqualified to be our, not overqualified, but he is qualified to be our left winger, first choice left winger. A very good finish. Yeah, I was very happy with him. I think, you know, Gakpo, I think I've always preferred him to Diaz on that left wing. Obviously, he's been shifted around with Klopp. I think he even got centre mid positions when under Klopp. But Slot has also used him in different positions, put him up front. But his left wing is his position, and I think he's an elite. Not, I wouldn't go as far to say he's world class, but he's certainly elite at left wing. Ekitike. I'm telling you right now, this player, Hugo Ekitike, I'm not a player. I'm not a person who's not an optimist, but I think that's the wrong word. I'm not a player who gasses up people for no reason. Ekitike will be the best striker in the world one day. I'm telling you right now, Hugo Ekitike, he was brilliant. You know, when he was on the pitch, everything was just coming through him. He was dropping deep, going to the left. Oh, yeah, what a goal. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But it was a good finish, composed finish. He knocked the ball through past the player and sent the keeper the wrong way. And the assist, obviously didn't do too much for the assist. That was more credit to Gakpo. But a goal and assist on the Premier League debut. 2 goals for Liverpool. 2 games in his last 2 games for Liverpool. 2 goals. Yeah, now I'm going to give him it. 9 out of 10 is a bit steep, but 8.5 out of 10 certainly. Did I give Gakpo a rating? Gakpo will get 7.5 or 8. No, 8. Heki can have an 8.75. And for the subs now, Endo didn't really do much. 5. Robertson, not the best. Actually, no, Endo will get a 6, and Robertson will get a 5. Curtis Jones didn't do much. 6. Joe Gomez, 6. Chiesa, you can have a 10, mate. you can have a 10. I'm so happy that Federico Chiesa stayed. I wasn't happy with his treatment last year. I feel like he should have got a lot more minutes, but obviously he didn't. And we're hearing reports now. It looks like he's going to stay. He seems to be in the plans. Obviously, he got 10 minutes today. Hopefully we can see a lot more of him this season. But yeah, that's my player ratings. Now the question we need to ask is, where do I think Liverpool will finish? I still think Liverpool will win the league. Let's look at our next games. I believe we've got Newcastle away next. Obviously, fortunately, it doesn't look like Isak's going to be playing that. Then Arsenal, then Burnley, then Everton. It's a tough run of fixtures. I think if we can get out of those fixtures unbeaten, then by then we will start looking a lot more cohesive, and then we'll start storming the league. So I do think Liverpool will win the league. I still do think we need a couple more signings, Isak and a centre back, and I'd say that's a great window. Obviously it's been a good window so far. Signed Giovanni Leone today, that got announced. From what I'm not going to lie and say I know much about him, but he seems to be a decent player. Another centre back, Guehi hopefully, and Isak, and then if we're pushing it, a bit of backup for Gakpo. But yeah, Liverpool win 4-2. Be sure to like and subscribe. This is obviously a new channel. Going to be pumping out some great football content. Either have a watch along on Friday for the United game, or it'll be a match day vlog. But yeah, thank you for watching. As he talks sports, as he talks football, I should say. Subscribe.